My name is Greg Grogan. I'm the president of the Overwatch Collective.
On average, throughout a 20-plus year career, you handle 700 critical incidents.
One of my first weeks on the job, I went to a death by suicide with a suicide note. The firearm was laying next to her, and I was a 21-year-old police officer.
I was the guy who said mental health wellness was not important. This will help us save lives.
We just got a $5,000 donation. Mike Parker, everybody.
We started out just as a podcast where we were going to talk about mental health amongst the first responder and military community, and then we quickly received some donations, which was amazing, and then turned it into a nonprofit with the intent to fund therapy sessions for our community because they are outrageously expensive. We know that suicide is a problem in the military community, right? The whole 22 a day, you do 22 push-ups a day. Well, those numbers are, number one, underreported, and they are drastically increased, which is what we're trying to reduce.
The first time that I ever heard that suicide ideations is a normal thought that we have as first responders was the first day I found the therapist that saved my life.
We have sent 81 first responders, service members, or family members to our contracted therapists, which is amazing.
Before that, I thought something was wrong with me.
So one of the big things in our community is we do not want to raise the red flag and say, hey, I need help or I am suicidal, because if you're infantry rifleman in the Marine Corps and you say that you're suicidal, you're not able to carry a firearm, you're not able to do your job. If you're a police officer and you say you're suicidal and you get placed on a psychiatric hold, they take your firearms, you're not able to do your job. That is why a lot of people in our community do not reach out for help.
I spent my entire life not feeling enough. Not strong enough, not pretty enough, not rich enough, not thin enough, not smart enough, simply not enough. And at 26 years old, I met a man that changed my life for the better forever. Never once in my life did I think about what he was actually doing on the job.
Very difficult to tell someone who is not a police officer what we go through and have them fully understand. It's not their fault, they cannot do it. And that's part of the problem with going to a therapist that does not understand as well. With us being a nonprofit that's providing all of these confidential resources and paying for them for the community is one thing, but also being in the community directly and actually going in front of a police department and saying, I know exactly what you go through because I am also a police officer, really hits home and makes a difference.
I do not know of another organization like this across the United States that is doing exactly this. First time that I went into therapy and an appropriate person that knew what they were doing, it changed my life.
We get all of our therapists onboarded. We make sure that when someone reaches out for help, that the therapist on the other end of the table is like, okay, I understand. I have either been there or let's work on this. I know what you're going through.
Just 1 month later, my husband was killed fighting the Thomas Fire. So how do you survive knowing that love can cause the greatest pain in this life? And that's courage. Courage to breathe.
90% of our funds go towards therapy. 73 people within the past year have felt comfortable enough to trust us and our therapist and our process to go to our website, to fill out a 1 to 2 page request for our services and financial assistance. And then we are able to connect a first responder, service member, or spouse to a culturally competent therapist within 3 days.
The app. If you have not downloaded the app and you're in here, I beg you to do it tonight. Even if on shift, something's going on, I need to pop on there for 5 or 10 minutes and just get some encouragement to keep pushing through. That is incredible. So if you had any doubt, like, hey, what is this all about? What are we doing? I'm telling you, this is the ticket. This will help us save lives.
So to me, one more act of courage to walk in the light is one less win for the darkness.